Whether you love to cook already or want to learn to be more confident in the kitchen, our next guest will inspire you. Ann Donegan and Stephanie Dietz, our mother-daughter cooking duo team. They're instructors from Brantford and back with us today. Welcome to the show. It's always great to have you guys here.
We're delighted to be here.
I always learn something when you guys are here, for sure.
That's the idea.
I guess that's why you guys are cooking instructors. All right, what are we making here today?
We're going to make a couscous salad with caponata.
Oh, and this is a pretty traditional dish in Sicily, you were telling me.
Yes, and this is a very unusual style because this has a lot of influence from all the people that overtook Sicily, the Moors and the North Africans and the Middle Easterns and the Romans and the Spaniards, and everybody overtook Sicily. So there's a little bit of everything. We have cinnamon, we have curry.
Yeah, it's not typically Italian.
Exactly.
Even the couscous,
right? The couscous
right?
is from the Middle East, so it's a very, very eclectic mix of food, but it really is delicious. And we have some fresh basil here. This we just picked from my garden this morning.
Oh, it's lovely.
And all these vegetables are grown in Sicily. Peppers and eggplant and squash are very, very common. Caponata is the national dish of Sicily.
Okay.
So we're just taking that and we're going to just add it to the couscous and make a salad out of it. And Steph's going to tell about the recipe a little bit.
So in here I have a little bit of olive oil with the zucchini and the yellow squash, the red peppers, the onion, and the eggplant, of course. If it's
just
Sicily,
a typical size, you would say?
Yeah,
one of these.
Okay. Exactly, yeah. And we saute this, and there's a few more things I have to add. So would you like to help me with the garlic?
I'm a great helper in the kitchen.
Okay. So you can just press the garlic in here, and this is the spices: cinnamon, hot curry powder, and a medium hot chili powder.
Okay.
Okay. And if you don't have a hot curry, you could use the sweet curry and put a little cayenne in, and that would be just fine also. So
we want to do all four of these cloves also?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we love garlic.
I go run with that.
And then these are some raisins that we're going to throw in.
So that'll sweeten it up nicely, right?
Yeah. Every time I tested this recipe, I kept adding more and more raisins because you would take a bite and it's really nice to get a little bit of sweet with all of the different herbs. So we're going to get all that in and saute it a little bit, and then I'm going to cover it so that the raisins will plump a little bit.
Okay.
You got that?
Get that last bit for me, thank you.
And I'm just going to put some of these things into the couscous. This couscous was cooked in vegetable stock, but you could use
the chicken
stock.
Sure, you're keeping it 100% vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So we just cooked it for about 15 minutes, and here it is. And this is Israeli couscous. You can see that it's big. Israeli couscous is couscous that's been toasted.
Okay.
And that gives it a nuttiness. So I'm going to put in, these are tomatoes that we just sliced up.
Little grape ones?
Yeah, little grape tomatoes. Okay. But anything you have in your garden is fine. Anything. It doesn't really matter.
And we did those in the Cuisinart.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Because it's easy and quick.
Ah.
And these are some toasted sunflower seeds. And this is because there's lysine in sunflower seeds, which is good to add to any kind of a pasta. You want to put lysine. That's one of the amino acids that's lacking when you have pasta. So this adds it. I'm going to put some basil in. I'm just going to chiffonade this, and this is just cutting it into thin ribbons.
Chiffonade, that's the term?
That's the term. It means made of rags, and it's a French term, and it means you're taking this in very, very thin strips. And that brings the flavor of the basil out, because there's oil in the basil, and when you slice it like that, the flavor comes out
I'm
more.
getting such nice aromas already, yes.
And this basil, we just picked this morning from my garden, and all these vegetables, except for that pepper, came from my garden. These are the kind of things you would have in the garden in Connecticut in the summer. So that's what we thought, doing this now, because you're going to get into...
It's all readily available.
Exactly.
Easy.
Yep. So what I did was I just took the basil and took the biggest leaf and rolled up, and like you're doing a cigar, and then just slicing it very, very thin. And this is everything now, when the hot mixture is added, we'll warm this up a little bit. Now this is the kind of dish, you're not going to serve this right out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
You want to either serve it warm or at room temperature.
Got it.
Yeah, because the olive oil can kind of congeal if it's really cold out of the fridge, so you want to give it a minute to warm up.
I should ask you, how are the cooking classes going?
Great.
Just terrific?
Great, and we're going to Amalfi in September.
Oh, how fun. You'll bring back more recipes for us.
We always bring back several recipes. That's why we go.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to it.
Ooh, that'll be wonderful.
Everybody's very excited about going. Yep, and the cooking classes are going great.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to help. We have about a minute left. It looks like we're almost done here.
Yeah. You have to stir it, and that's all there is to it.
I could stir it. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. It almost smells sweet.
Yep. Well, that's because of the raisins, and that's because of the curry. Now, you see how pretty it looks with all the colors? The basil is pretty, and it's a great dish to have. This will keep for several days in the fridge.
Great.
It's great to take for lunch. You can also serve this as a side if you have a piece of meat.
Oh, okay.
It goes great with a piece of steak or a piece of chicken or fish or whatever you want to serve it with. Yeah.
And you guys can stay to the end of the show because I know Jocelyn's
Absolutely.
going to want to give this a taste.
Yep.
All right, and you can find the recipe on WTNH.com. Coming up next.